are pressing on towards the launch of STS-79, the 79th space shuttle flight by the orbiter Atlantis this morning, 4:54 a.m. and 49 seconds after the minute. So you're standing there on the docks of the Indian River and you're saying, oh wow, look, it's 4:54, still haven't launched. Well, you want to wait another 49 seconds to get that exact launch time. Now, this is all in correlation with where Mir is going to be at the time of launch. Of course, you heard an update that we had with NASA's Public Affairs, where they gave us an update on where Mir is going to be at the time of launch. Again, 5,000 miles from to the southwest of the Kennedy Space Center, kind of west of the Galapagos Islands near the equator at the time of launch by Atlantis. Right now, it's moving off the Indian Ocean, the space station Mir is, and it's keeping on its mission. Again, the core module, the first space station link for the Mir space station was launched in February of 1986. So it's going on 11 years now, this come February, that the first component to Space Station Mir occurred, was launched. Well, let's pause. We're going to take a breather here for a few minutes, but we'll be joining you right back here again. Come on down to Space View Park here in North Titusville. We're on the banks of the Indian River, directly across from Pad 39A, where Space Shuttle Atlantis is passively bathed in a glowing bright light. Yes, Ray?
Yeah, well, we just want to remind the folks that this local live coverage has been brought to them through the courtesy of Space Launch News and Big WAMT, and take her away here, yep. Big WAMT. What is our launch status? Are we still go?
Well, we are still go. Everything's looking great. We're progressing smoothly down towards launch. We are at T-9 and holding. We should be coming out of this hold at 4:45 and 49 seconds after the minute, aiming towards the launch at 4:54 and 49 seconds. Now, this has to do with where Space Station Mir is going to be, and the first burn, if you want to say, the first, what would you say? The first burn to get to the Space Station Mir is right at launch. Okay, you want to kind of set the time, find out the ground track of Mir and where it's going to be. So that's kind of pinpoints, and that's what alludes to when you're going to launch the Space Shuttle Orbiter. Now, if you're traveling up I-95, you'll want to get off at the Titusville exit, either one. If you're getting off at the 50 exit, just take 50 all the way to US 1, come north up US 1, you'll turn left on US 1, and you'll head right towards North Titusville on the Indian River. We're right before Garden Street. Now, if you're on I-95 and you're rushing to get to, say, Atlanta, Georgia, and you just can't stop for the launch, well, what you can do is, let me give you this phone number, 407-264-3344. Now keep the hand on the steering wheel, but write this down, 407-264-3344. That's the number where you can get start your subscription to Space Launch News Magazine. It's the magazine that'll bring you up to date on the Space Shuttle program as well as the International Space Program, too. So,
Tyler, it is mission specific, as you are well aware of, since you do write articles for it yourself, and it is mission specific. It tells you all about the astronaut crew for this mission. It tells you what the mission is of STS-79, and it's got a beautiful picture of STS-79 being rolled out of the orbiter facilities on its way to the VAB prior to stacking with the boosters. And Tyler, you are also WAMT's unmanned launch. What do you call that? You also have a space show every Wednesday night. You want to tell our listeners about your unmanned launch reports and your space show on Wednesday nights?
Sure. Well, you know, of course, we have more than just the space shuttle out here if you're new to the area. We have Delta rockets that lift off from Complex 17 at Cape Canaveral Air Station. Cape Canaveral Air Station, several miles south here of Kennedy Space Center, on just in unison to one another. We also have Atlas and Titan 4 launches that also go from Cape Canaveral Air Station as well. Well, of course, WAMT, the Big 1060, you see our billboard here in Titusville. And as we hold our truth, we will cover, and we do cover, the unmanned launches as well. We'll be bringing you very live updates from Cape Canaveral Air Station. In fact, we are positioned about maybe 1.5 miles from the launch pad itself, or either the Titan or the, well, it's mainly the Atlas or the Delta primarily. And we bring you live coverage as well of the unmanned launches as we do for the shuttle, too. Now, the next unmanned launch will be that of a Delta II, and that's set to fly about November 6th, if I recall. And they'll be taking aloft the Mars Global Surveyor, of course, to the Red Planet. This will be the first of 2 launches in both November and December. Liftoff of Delta II is set for November 6th from Pad 17A at Cape Canaveral Air Station. The Delta II is to send aloft the Mars Global Surveyor satellite. And the next milestone now will be the pre-start of the orbiter APUs, the auxiliary power units. Now these APUs help power up the elevons, speed brake, and rudders on the vehicle, as well as also other elements. They help gimbal the main engines at launch during the launch phase. The main engine's gimbaling or steering helps basically steer and move the orbiter through the atmosphere.
T-minus 6 minutes, 30 seconds. All systems aboard Atlantis continue to look good. Looking forward to an on-time liftoff.
And the flight recorders are now starting.
STS, that is complete. TLT, Form AT, pre-start. TLT, pre-start, alert.
Coming up on the T-minus 6 minute mark, pilot Wolcott is activating the auxiliary power units. That will actually come at the T-minus 5 minute mark.
And I see this at 3, great contact. Very good.
These units provide hydraulic power to the orbiter.
We're at T-minus 5 minutes and 40 seconds to launch. Come on, join us out at Spaceview Park here in North Titusville. Weather is not an issue. Everything's looking good for this morning's launch. Again, liftoff is set for 4:54 and 49 seconds. The window will close at 5 o'clock exactly this morning, so it's a very short window, just a little over 5 minutes in duration.
Up on the start of the auxiliary power units at the T-minus 5 minute mark.
Let's just go for orbiter APU start. TLT, OTC, start APU.
And we just passed 5 minutes.
Inlet. PDR, we can take your meters. PDR, roger. Meter read config is complete.
About 3.5 minutes away from launch of Atlanta.
The 3 main engines are being gimbaled and positioned for launch today. All systems are go for launch at this time, just a few minutes away from the 17th voyage of Atlantis with a crew of 6. This will be the 4th shuttle flight that will dock with the Russian Mir space station.
Coming up on the 3-minute point in the countdown to launch. T-minus 3 minutes.
Pressurizing the external tank in the next few seconds.
Let's just go for ET, LO2 pressurization.
And the Space Shuttle main engine gaseous nitrogen purge has been terminated at this time. The box vent hood is getting ready to retract the beanie cap that's on top of the orbiter's external fuel tank.
TLT, start caution warning memory, verify no unexpected errors.
And we see the first movement of the beanie cap retracting.
No unexpected errors.
The gaseous oxygen vent hood is being retracted away from the top of the external tank. And the 6-member crew